Hi, third grade. Today we are going to wrap up Unit 2, Week 2 of Fundations by doing the Day 5 lesson. So let's get started with drill sounds warm up. Repeat after me. A, apple, ah. A, wash, ah. A, squash, ah. E, ed, eh. I, itch, eh. O, octopus, ah. U, up, CK, sock, k. TCH, catch, ch. INK, pink, ink. And IND, find, eind. Okay, next we're going to talk about some of the words that we've had this year for our words of the day. If you look up here, you can see one of the words. Let's tap it together. Ready? St, ch, stretch, right? Can you think of a sentence using that word stretch? Right. I stretch my muscles when I get out of bed in the morning. I stretch my legs before I go running. Um, a rubber band or slime can stretch. Okay, so next I want you to tell me, what are some things I need to do in order to mark up this word, stretch? What do we have? Yes, we have a 3-letter blend at the very beginning, and I gave 3 separate underlines because you can still hear stretch when we say it. What else do I need to do? There is a trigraph, TCH, at the end. It gets 1 underline because it makes 1 sound. What else? The vowel is short, so I'm putting a breve because it's a closed syllable. Excellent. Before I make the next word, I also want you to think about, why did they put TCH at the end instead of just CH? Because they both make the same sound. Remember that rule from Unit 1? Right. The trigraph TCH has to follow right after a short vowel. Great. Okay, look back up here and you'll see I added another word of the day that we've had this year. Our word is, tap it, w. Is it ah? Be careful when we tap this. Remember our sound card from our drill sounds warm up. When an A comes after a W or a QU, it sometimes doesn't say ah, right? Like water, or in this case, ch, right? Ch. Now to mark up this word, if you can remember, this A, it doesn't get a breve because it's not saying ah. It actually, since it sounds like an O, I like to call it the one-eyed monster symbol. It looks like an O with a little dot. Okay? Watch. And can we still underline our trigraph? Correct. This is still, right, a closed syllable because it's making a short vowel sound there. Watch. Very good. You could be talking about the noun. You wear a watch to tell time, or it could also be a verb, right? You could watch television with your eyeballs. Very good. Okay, look above, and I made a third word from our word of the day list. What is this word? Old. Remember when we tap that? That's a closed syllable exception. Remember, it came from this row. So when we mark it, keep that in mind because it's going to be marked a little bit different. Do we still have a blend at the beginning? Yeah, this one's a 2-consonant blend. And this, like I said, is a closed syllable exception. So remember, we box those in. And since the vowel says its name, ode, it's long. So we put the macron. And yes, it is a closed syllable exception. That is how we would properly mark that word. Nice work. Okay, I put a 4th word up here. Let's tap just Notice the suffix frame. So when we tap it, we're only going to tap the base word. Ready? K, a, ch. What is the base word? Catch, catches, right? Catches. He catches the ball. When we mark up words like this, do we have a trigraph? Yes. What do we do with our suffix? Although, I'm saying something wrong because remember, if we have a base word and a suffix, remember what we've been doing in class. We actually underline, let's see if I can connect that. Yes, we underline the whole base word and circle the suffix, right? Now, this is a vowel suffix because it starts with a vowel. Why didn't we have to put a star above anything or double anything? Right. Catch is not a 111 word, right? It is not a 111 word, even though it's a closed syllable and has one vowel. Remember the other rule. It can only have one consonant following the vowel. And TCH, even though it makes one sound, it's 3 letters. That's why it's a trigraph, right? So therefore, since catch is not a 111 word, we don't have to double any of the consonants. That's how you would mark this word. Pretty easy. Okay, I went ahead and built our last word for today. The word is, we're not going to tap the suffix, but let's tap the base word. Go. App, trap, trapped. That ED sounds like a letter T. It does. So when we mark this word, first of all, our base word to underline is just trap. Okay, you can set a trap. So this other consonant was added or doubled because is trap a 111 word? Yes, it's got one vowel, it's a closed syllable, and it only has one consonant after the vowel. That's why we had to double the consonant there. Okay, we can still circle the suffix like that. And when I have ed suffixes, because we know ed as a suffix sometimes sounds like t, sometimes sounds like d, and sometimes sounds like id. Okay, so let's all say trapped. Do you hear it sounds like a T? So above it, I like to write what it sounds like. Okay, notice for these words with a suffix, did we mark what kind of syllable type it is? No, we just underline the base word, circle the suffix, and maybe had to add a bonus letter if we had a 111 base word with a vowel suffix attached, like in trapped. Very good. Okay, so now let's say the words. Ready? Stretch, watch, scold, catches, trapped. All right, tell me a word that has a 111 base word with a suffix added. There's only one you can say. Which one? Right, trapped. Catch is not a 111 word. Remember, we talked about that. So trapped is the only one that would fit that description. Try this word or this clue. Find me a word that means to be firm. And I don't want to say yell, but you're serious and you have to correct somebody. What is that verb? Right, scold. If you have to be scolded, that's because you made maybe a bad choice. All right. And the last question is, find me a word that has a trigraph. Did you say stretch? Could have. Did you say watch? You could have. Look at that TCH. Did you say catches? Right. There were 3 options for that clue. Nice work. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, 3rd grade, is go into your composition book. All right, with the doctor on the cover. If you've been here every day, the next clean page should be page 7. So actually, everybody should be doing this activity on page 7. Up at the top, you'll want to make sure that you do and you write today's date. And this is actually a checkup. So up in the corner where you see that box, put a check mark there because this is a checkup. That means that we are not going to be revealing any answers. You're going to be doing this on your own independently to see if you can apply all of the rules we've been talking about in Fundations this year. Okay, so let's go on page 7. See where it says sounds at the top? Go to number 1, and here you go. The first sound that I want you to write is k. Say it. K. Now, pause the video, boys and girls, and get that down before you go to the next one. Number 2, the next sound is ch. Say it. Ch. Pause and write. Number 3, the next sound is t. Say it. T. Pause and write. And number 4, d. Say it. D. I will give you a hot tip. For each sound that I just told you and dictated to you, there is more than one for all of them, for each of them. So hopefully you used a comma to separate them. Okay, pause if you need to finish the top row. All right. In the next row, see where it says review words? There are 4 review words that we're going to look back and see if you remember those rules from Unit 1. So in Unit 1, remember, we definitely marked if it was a closed syllable or a closed syllable exception. We usually marked the vowel with a breve if it's short or a macron if it was long. Unless it was one of those glued sounds like ang, fang, ang, or ink, pink, ink. We didn't mess with those vowels. We just, remember, box them in. Okay, don't forget about blends to mark those if they're in words, or digraphs and trigraphs. All right, so do your best, spell it first, and then go back and mark it. That's my suggestion for you. All right, the first word I want you to spell and mark is the word neck. Say it, neck. N-e-k. Her neck was covered by the turtleneck. Spell it first and then mark it, please. Number 2, your word is switch. Say it. Switch. Let's tap it first. Go. S-w-i-ch. Switch. Remember, you're spelling it and marking it. For number 1 with neck, k. Did you get the correct k sound at the end? Think of our rules from Unit 1. For number 2, switch. Did you get the right ch sound at the end? Okay, pause if you need more time. Number 3, your next word is one of my favorites, kind. Say it. Kind. Tap it. K-ind. Kind. I love when students are kind. Spell it and then mark it. Are you remembering to say if it's a closed syllable or a closed syllable exception? Number 4, your word is link. Say it. Link. Ink. Link. I had to link the paper clips together. Link. Spell it and mark it. All right. If you've hit play, that means you are good with your 4 sounds and your 4 reviewed words are spelled and marked, because when you come back to school, if you're at home, your teacher will be collecting your composition books or a piece of paper if you have it on there and checking this, because it is a checkup, remember. Okay, so make sure you're doing this independently and following all directions. All right, let's move on to the next section where it says current words. Well, currently we're in Unit 2, so all of our Unit 2 words have had a base word and a suffix. Make sure you underline the base word, circle the suffix, and don't forget, if your base word is a 111 word and you're attaching a vowel suffix, make sure you're doing the doubling rule with the star. Okay, so you have to put a lot of knowledge together here for the current words to get these ones spelled correctly and marked. Your first current word is camped. Say it. Camped. Last week we camped in a tent. Our base word is camp. Let's tap the base word. Go. K, p. Camp. And then make sure you're writing camped. Put it in the past tense. Spell it and then mark it. Okay, number 2. Your next word is robber. Say it. Robber. The robber didn't get away. Robber. Our base word is rob. R-A-B. Rob. Robber. And be careful, you don't want your word to say rober. So check to see if you're using our skills. Okay, number 3. Your word is called. Say it. Called. My mom called my friend's mom to see if we could meet up. Called. Our base word is call. Remember that. K, all. Call. Called. Spell it and mark it, please. And remember, we're not labeling on these current words. We're not doing closed syllable or closed syllable exceptions. We're not marking that. We're only underlining the base word, circling the suffix. And then if you have a bonus letter, you can put your star. All right, number 4. Shopper. Say it. Shopper. My mom is not much of a shopper. What's our base word? Shop, right. Sh, ah, p. Shop, shopper. Spell it and mark it. Underline the base word, circle the suffix. All right, next we're ready to move on to our sound-alike words or our homophones. So if you happen to have your student notebook at home, remember, you are allowed to use it. You are. The first sound-alike word that I want you to write is sun. Now, you don't know which sun. You could maybe get the beginning letter, but someday I hope to have a son. Which sun am I talking about there? Number 2. Your other sound-alike word is some. Say it. Some. I have some water left in my water bottle. Some. All right. Now we're moving on to our 2 review trick words. And these 2 are in your Castle student notebook. If you have that at home with you, you're allowed to use that as a resource. The first trick word I want you to write is always. It is always a good idea to come to school. Always. And number 2, your word is, this one we know, should. Should. Okay, now at the bottom of your page, you should have a section for sentences. I'm only going to give you one sentence. Okay, are we ready? Your sentence is, Ben will be the drummer in the band. All right, let me repeat that. Ben will be the drummer in the band. One more time. Ben will be the drummer in the band. All right, check your sentence over. Something special at the beginning, something special at the end. Drummer. Think of our rules. Band. That's a sound-alike word. Okay, you can do it. Ben will be the drummer in the band. The last thing I want you to do is scoop your sentence into phrases. All right? Great work. Remember, your teacher will be asking this from you when you return to school, so make sure if you've missed anything, rewind the video and rewatch parts so you have it all ready to turn in. Great job. Okay, the last thing we did today, third grade, was we each got this cursive page. Okay, remember we practiced the up-down letters for R, lowercase s, lowercase t. And notice this one, they're connecting the letters. So whenever you do each row, if you do it correctly, you shouldn't even have to pick up your pencil. All right? If you weren't in school and you don't have this paper at home, I'll show it up here, but you can get a piece of blank paper and practice it on your own, okay? You don't have to do it exactly, just so that you're practicing lowercase r, lowercase s, lowercase t. And then look at some of these words that now you should be able to write. So try writing step a few times, and pets, fresh, first, bless, okay? Don't worry about everything if you don't have this paper. Just try to write down, pause the video and try to write down some of these words in cursive because now you know all of the letters. All right, third grade. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you back soon.